So you're thinking about taking a shot at the Google Summer of Code? That's awesome. But let's get one thing straight right from the start. This isn't about just filling out an application form. Oh, no. This is a campaign. And today, we're giving you the strategic blueprint to win it. First off, you gotta understand the sheer scale of this thing. For 2026, we're talking about 185 different mentoring organizations. That is a massive landscape of opportunity, right? It covers everything you can imagine. AI, cloud, science, medicine, you name it. Your perfect project is in there. You just have to find it. And the impact you can have, it's absolutely staggering. Just look at that number. Over 48 million lines of code have come out of this program. So when you get into GSOC, you're not just doing some summer internship. You are contributing to a real legacy of serious enterprise-grade open source software that people actually use. And this quote, this is what it all boils down to. This is the core idea for this entire explainer. Winning GSOC isn't necessarily about being the most brilliant coder from day one. It's about playing it smart. It's about executing a campaign, gathering intel, proving you got the skills, and, maybe most importantly, building real connections. Which brings us to phase one, reconnaissance and first contact. Seriously, everything you do before that application window even opens, that's what's going to set you apart. This phase right here is where the entire campaign is either won or lost. Now, take a good look at this timeline. You might want to screenshot this. February 19th, the organizations are announced. That kicks off the single most important period, the discussion phase. That window from February 19th to March 15th, before applications even open, that's your battlefield. This is the time to engage, and it is absolutely non-negotiable. So how you use that time is everything. You've got two choices. First, there's what I call the shotgun approach. You just blast out a dozen generic proposals and hope one sticks. Let me tell you, that never, ever works. The winning play is targeted engagement. You pick just one, maybe two organizations that you are genuinely passionate about, and you go deep. So how do you actually prove your value during this time? It's all about making real, tangible contributions. Find a bug, a real one, file a super detailed report, and then submit a polished patch to fix it. Some orgs, like OWASP or CERN, they even have mandatory pre-tasks. You have to do them. But please, and I can't stress this enough, avoid the low-effort typo fixes. Mentors see right through that stuff, and it does not look good. All that early work, all the bug fixes and engagement, it's all leading to one thing, the proposal. And this is not a college essay about your dreams. It's a technical design document. It's the blueprint that proves to the mentors that you can not only come up with an idea, but you actually have a concrete plan to build it. And you gotta know that not all proposals are the same. You need to pick the right pattern for the job. If your project is about, say, building a new feature, you're going to use the technical specification pattern, a detailed step-by-step plan. But if it's more of an exploratory machine learning project, you'll need a research proposal pattern, which is all about the literature review and methodology. Knowing which one to use is half the battle. Okay, let's break down the perfect proposal. You have to start with a synopsis a busy mentor can understand in 60 seconds. Then, clearly spell out the benefits to the community. Why should they care? The real meat, though, is the deliverables, a super detailed step-by-step breakdown of every single task. And finally, a realistic timeline that, and listen to me on this, includes buffer weeks. Because trust me, things will go wrong. Right, you could have the most brilliant technical plan on the planet, but if you don't master the unwritten rules, it's all for nothing. Your communication, your professional etiquette, believe me, that's being judged just as closely as your code is. The do's are pretty simple, but they're so critical. Read the docs before you ask anything. Ask your questions in public forums, not in private messages. Remember, these mentors are volunteers, so respect their time. Be concise. And follow the local rules. You know, like how the Jenkins project has a very specific format for email subject lines? Little things like that show you're paying attention. And now for the don'ts. These are the landmines that can blow up your whole campaign. Never, ever DM a mentor to ask for special treatment. Avoid sarcasm or jokes. They just don't translate well in a global community. And a huge one, don't use titles like sir or ma'am. It comes off as unprofessional and, frankly, a bit clueless in this environment. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, AI. You can't just assume it's okay to use tools like ChatGPT for your proposal. Policies are all over the place, and some organizations, like the Plone Foundation, have a zero tolerance policy, and they are not kidding. So here is the one and only rule when it comes to AI. It is your responsibility to find, read, and follow each organization's specific AI policy to the letter. Some orgs, like OWASP, might be okay with it as long as you disclose what you used. The bottom line is, when in doubt, the only safe move is total transparency. Disclose everything. One of the best ways to figure out how to win is to understand why so many people lose. So let's talk about why most applications fail, so you can avoid making the same mistakes.
Technically, the rejections usually come from a few common problems. Your proposal is just incoherent. It shows you haven't actually studied their code. Your timeline is just insane, like you're proposing to rewrite the whole thing in a week. Your idea is kind of boring and doesn't really add anything new. Or the worst one, your idea is totally misaligned with what the organization is about, like adding tracking to a privacy app.
So yeah, those are all big problems. But there is one mistake that is more common, more devastating, and yet 100% avoidable. What do you think it is? That's it. No prior communication. Submitting a flawless proposal out of the blue without ever having said a single word in the community forum or mailing list, that's the #1 killer. I'll say it again. A pretty good applicant who engaged for weeks will always beat a brilliant ghost. Always. So your GSOC campaign doesn't start when the application's open. It starts right now, the moment this is over. So the choice is yours. Is your first move going to be smart, strategic, intelligence gathering? Or are you just going to go write another line of code?